In this video, we're going to talk about multi-step inequalities. Multi-step inequalities are very similar to solving a multi-step equation. However, we have an inequality symbol, which means that we're then also going to graph that inequality. So remember that this means less than, and this symbol means greater than. And when we graph these, that's an open circle. However, this is less than or equal to, and this is greater than or equal to. And when we graph those, it's a closed circle, so we color that in. Another thing to know is what we call interval notation. For interval notation, you use parentheses, which mean open, and that just means that it's not included. Or you use a bracket, which means it's included, or also what we call closed. So that matches up with this one here, and open would match with this case. In our first example, we have 4 times x plus 3 inside parentheses is greater than negative 24. So the first thing we have to do is distribute our 4. So you have 4x plus 12 is greater than negative 24. It now turns into a two-step equation, so we just subtract 12 from both sides of the inequality, and we end up with 4x greater than negative 36. Our final step is to divide everything by 4, and we end up with x greater than negative 9. So this is one part of your answer. However, we're not done, and we need to graph this. So I'm going to draw my number line, and I'm going to put negative 9 here in the middle. Now be careful when numbering these with negatives, and it's going to look something like this. So since this was x is greater than negative 9, we are going to put an open circle at negative 9, and it's saying all numbers that are greater than negative 9. So we're going to shade it to the right, and you can kind of check this because negative 8 is greater than negative 9, and so we know that we're graphing it in the right place. Now for interval notation, what this is saying is it is open at negative 9 and it's going to infinity, but we can never reach infinity, so it's still open. In our next example, there's a few more steps here, and the first thing we have to do is distribute this negative 2. So you have 7x minus a 2x and plus 8 is less than or equal to negative 2. Now I want to emphasize this negative 2 here is very important because you have to make sure you put a negative 2x, and a negative times a negative turns into a positive. We can now combine like terms, so we have a 7x minus 2x, which gives us 5x plus 8 is less than or equal to negative 2. And now I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides, and I end up with 5x is less than or equal to negative 10. My final step here is to divide by 5, and I have x is less than or equal to negative 2. However, we need to graph this, and so on my number line, I'll put negative 2, negative 1, and negative 3. And this said it was x was less than or equal to negative 2, so you're going to color in negative 2. And it's saying all values that are less than negative 2. So you'll actually shade this to the left, going this direction. And our interval notation is going to be, we work from left to right, is going to be negative infinity because it's going in the negative direction and it's open. However, since it was a closed circle at negative 2, we are going to have a comma negative 2 with a bracket. And this is just another notation that we take from our graph here.